What does a good hook look like? What is a good email subject line? What actually converts in the body of an email, right? These types of things are not going away. So becoming a subject matter expert on your particular field. Now, if you're in a field that's going to become obsolete, that's obviously a different conversation here. But if you're in a field that's something like marketing or something that's evergreen, content creation, right? We're always going to need these types of things as time goes on. Master the fundamentals of those skills and also master the fundamentals of AI and AI automations. And I think you will be okay versus just sitting in analysis paralysis mode 24/7, being consumed by hype content on YouTube or the media saying so and so laid off 1 million people, AI is taking all of our jobs. You can't sit in fear. You have to just take action and start to learn things versus just being paralyzed in fear, which is what all these big media companies want you to do as you keep consuming their content and consuming their dream, right, to make them money versus you actually watching out for yourself.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, when you look at the real life examples, right? I was working at a big telco, and in the management group, we talked about we need to spend more on people who have the skills we need, and then we need to get rid of some of the people actually with the lowest pay who do not have the skills we need, right? So I mean, again, there would be a tremendous difference. We'll probably need to accept that we had to hire some people who maybe would operate below us in the hierarchy, but they would earn more. Maybe they would need to earn like $1 million for us to attract them a year. And at the other hand, there would be people earning less than $100,000, but not having the skills that we would need to get rid of. And it's a hot potato, right? Because you would have a lot of traditional managers saying, "Hell no, I'm not going to hire somebody who's going to earn twice my salary." And that's the interesting part, right? So if you really learn the skills that are that high value, there's so much in it for you. Whereas if you reject it, you will be one of those who are actually made redundant because your skills are not useful anymore.
Yeah, and the problem with corporate America right now is we have so many people. It's just this facade of busyness, right? You worked in corporate, I worked in corporate. We both understand where this is going, where a large portion of these workforces, they're sitting in the corner replying to Slack and email 24/7, this facade of looking busy versus actually doing things that move the needle. And I think AI is truly exposing that and showing the bottom line to these upper level executives. Well, why wouldn't I just implement an AI solution or invest more in my employees that are actually being productive and power them with AI solutions that can do the other person's job, right? I think that's where this whole thing is going when it comes to facade of busyness, corporate America, and in the marketing industry in particular. One trend, or I guess prediction that I actually have, I've worked in the agency world too, is we have bloated teams right now, right? We have an SEO department, a PPC department, a graphics department, bloated with 5, 10+ people, depending on how big the agency is. I think where this is going to end up going is we're going to have teams of 2 to 3 people, probably 2 people. We have one subject matter expert on whether it's SEO or graphic design, whatever it is. And then we have an AI agents or AI automations expert. When you power those 2 people together, of someone who has subject matter expertise and someone who's an expert at building agents and automated workflows, that's where I think this whole thing is going to go versus bloated teams of 10+ people where only 2 or 3 of those people are actually moving the needle in the big picture in the first place.
It would be interesting to see how quickly that happens. I mean, what I saw a lot working at Facebook would be these bloated social media departments where, I mean, creating organic traffic, for that you need to create value, right? So if you're selling some generic product, it's not going to help you to have a content calendar and like, share commercial posts. Nobody will like them or read them, and it will have no impact. And if you then just talked about the weather or cute kitties or something, you would actually get a bit of traffic, but it would give you no value, right? No business value at all. So they always ask us, what should we do with these departments? And I always say, close the department. I'm not saying get rid of everybody. There might be people with talent that you can use for something else. But your department, your social media department as is not generating value. And as you mentioned, I think AI will expose that, but I also think there will be many operators trying to delay that. and those will probably be the companies who will fail, right? Because other companies, they will catch this and they will apply the resources to something that moves the needle.
Yeah, and it's also this flawed mentality too, like in the social media world and marketing world in general, is that AI slot moves the needle, right? Well, let me automate all these random AI images and AI videos on a social media scheduler, and I check the box, right? My social media is good
Yeah.
to go, versus actually spending time to draft high value content that converts into something that moves the needle. There's a huge difference there. And you know exactly what I'm talking about with these checkbox social media people, where we got our post done today, we posted on Instagram, on to the next one, right? Those people should be concerned if you're just going through this checklist mentality just to get quantity versus quality.
Yeah, and here I actually see AI as kind of a danger because the next could be saying, "This is wonderful. We can now create not one post a day. We can create 100 posts a day with different AI content." And this is where, if you understand marketing, you know that people will need to see the same message in different creative ways, but the same message for maybe 3-4 times a week at least for maybe 8 weeks, right? But if you just machine gun them with a lot of different creatives, they will just sit back confused and say, "What was that? What are they trying to sell me?" But it'll be interesting to see how fast this goes. So just before we end this, I just want to pick your brain on the companies you worked with. How sticky did you find AI? How challenging was it to implement something that they would continue to use and where they could see the value?
I think there's a lot of resistance to change, especially if you're working in an industry that's heavily regulated, like legal or, finance or insurance. That is where we're seeing a lot of difficulties right now, especially when it comes to marketing and content efforts. Because, I help executives and founders build their personal brand. But before we, sign the dotted line here, you have to mark off that it's okay for me to leverage generative AI, of course, trained on your data and your tone, to actually start creating content for you. And unfortunately, in several industries that are regulated, it's a big risk to put out anything that's generated by AI, where they could come back and get sued later and get all sorts of legal trouble, and this and that. So I would say that is definitely a huge thing